Tonight, we will look at last night's final presidential debate along with a debate held on campus.
Plus, Troy University is recognized by an organization that promotes health and peace. Stay tuned. TrojanVision Nightly News starts now.
From the high-definition digital production center on the Troy campus, with news from Troy University locations around the world, this is TrojanVision Nightly News.
Hello and welcome to TrojanVision Nightly News for October 23rd, 2012. I'm Rachel Scarborough.
And I'm Judson Garner. Thanks for joining us this evening. With the presidential election 14 days away, two Troy organizations are making sure that students have the opportunity to be informed about where President Obama and competitor Mitt Romney stand. Bailey Majors gives us a look at the big debate.
Monday night, Troy University's college Republicans and college Democrats teamed up for a big debate to inform students about the issues and candidates in the 2012 presidential election.
It was really a way for everybody to come out, get together. It doesn't matter what side you're on. We're just really concerned with spreading, the word, get out the vote. We want everybody to vote, everybody to make their own decision.
Students were able to hear from both parties about topics that directly affected college students, such as Pell Grant funding, the debt crisis, and health care. One Troy student said that it's important for everyone to be informed, but also to have an opinion for yourself.
Information can get misconstrued. Parents can tell you something, your friends, but to be informed is to know information. To seek it yourself, and both organizations said over and over tonight, go look at the websites, study the candidates, watch the debate. So it's very important that you don't listen to people and be informed.
Both parties expressed the importance of students being prepared for the election, and one party member said that he thinks the 2012 presidential election will be one of the most important ones of his time.
You hear it every election. It's the most important election of our lives, but I think this actually is one of those rare elections in our history where we're going to have a completely different nation 4 years from now, depending on who's elected to office. If everybody's not informed on who they vote for, then why vote at all? Again, our country was founded upon the principle of it being a democratic republic.
For any students who want to participate in the election, they can get a voter registration form in the SGA office located in the Trojan Center Room 215. Students will be able to register to vote Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. The last day to register to vote is October 26th.
The Troy Rotary Club celebrated its relationship with Troy University today at the group's International Peace Forum held in Sartain Hall. The forum was held to recognize Rotary International's activities around the world, including efforts to provide clean drinking water and eradicate polio. The forum also highlighted the organization's relationship with Troy's international program. Troy's international student body was recognized during the event. Rotary hopes those students may someday contribute to the Rotary cause.
Students are from 66 different countries, and Rotary is an international organization. Many of these students will become significant leaders back in their homeland when they graduate. We hope they will become future Rotarians. We also want to involve them in the Rotaract Club that we have on this campus, which also engages young people in community service.
Today's International Peace Forum was held as a part of a Rotary International initiative this year to promote peace through service. Well, Judson, tonight Troy University's percussion ensemble will present a concert where they will premiere a news work by Brian Nazi.
That's right, Rachel. But before the big debut, the composer presented a composition clinic for Troy University music students. Kayla Magoo has a story.
Monday night, the percussion ensemble attended a clinic by Assistant Professor of Percussion and Assistant Director of Bands at Dickinson State University, Brian Nazi. The clinic addressed a diverse set of skills covering arrangement of music and some real-world advice and tips of the trade, which Nazi says will get them a lot of mileage.
It diversifies them, it makes them a lot more marketable, and that's really the key. You have to wear so many different hats now to be successful as a musician, that this is just one of the ways that I, in my career, have gotten to where by being able to wear this hat, it's gotten me a lot of mileage.
The percussion ensemble will be debuting one of Nazi's songs Tuesday night as they gear up to go on tour. Their first stop, Claudia Crosby Theater.
It's going to be great. I know the players have put in a lot of time. I mean, it's been all semester long, and it's going to be one of the best percussion ensemble performances you can find in the entire country.
Nosny tells us a little bit about what to expect from the performance on Tuesday night.
Every piece is vastly different. The first one will tear your face off, and then the second one is a very beautiful marimba quartet, I think, and then the third one's mine. It's a little more, it's very ethereal, atmospheric, and it just keeps going on from there. That everything's very different. But the nice thing is kind of like what I talked about in the clinic about the factoring in the audience. Everything is still very accessible. Nobody is going to go and hear what my friends used to call like bleep blop music and be like, oh God, I don't want to. It's all very, very accessible, and I think it'll be a great show. They're playing their tails off.
Kayla Magoo, Troy TrojanVision News.
The Troy Percussion Ensemble's concert will be tonight at 7:30 in the Claudia Crosby Theater.
And now taking a look at news from around the state. In Montgomery, the state board has approved the sale of $33 million in bonds to finance the purchase of thousands of new buses for Alabama public schools. The Alabama Public School and College Authority voted 2-0 Monday to approve the purchase of the bonds.
In Florence, authorities say a teenager has been indicted on murder charges in the death of a 14-year-old girl during a party in March. A grand jury issued the murder indictment against 17-year-old Autumn Marie Wood during a grand jury session.
And in Birmingham, Jefferson County is getting some extra help fighting crime from some 100 taxi drivers trained to be on the lookout for suspicious activity. Yellow Cab announced the new taxi on patrol Monday in front of Birmingham City Hall. Drivers are told not to intervene, but simply report suspicious activity to authorities.
And still to come on TrojanVision Nightly News, the Trojan volleyball team is looking to break a school record tonight in their match against Florida A&M. Justin McNelly will have the details when he joins us with sports.
But first, the presidential candidates are campaigning in the battleground states with 2 weeks left until the election. We'll have that story and more after the break.
Fresh off their final debate, the presidential candidates hit the battleground states to sway undecided voters. I'm Tara Mergener at the White House with a story coming up.
Clean kitchen surfaces, utensils, and hands with soapy water. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Hi, I'm Mia Hamm. As a professional soccer player, I know how rewarding sports can be and how quickly injuries happen. So I've teamed up with the American Association of Orthodontists to ask athletes to play it safe. With my years of training, I know what it takes to become an expert, and orthodontists do too. They're the experts who help people obtain healthy, beautiful smiles. Wear mouthguards, face masks, and helmets to prevent injuries. Keep smiling and visit braces.org.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning Troy TrojanVision Nightly News.
Now for a look at what's happening across the nation and around the world, we'll go to Rachel Scarborough at the Global News Desk. Rachel?
Thank you, Judson. Voters go to the polls 2 weeks from today to decide who the next president will be. Last night, President Obama and Mitt Romney had one final face-to-face debate. Tara Mergener reports from the White House.
The president rallied voters in Florida and once again accused his Republican challenger of having a selective memory.
If you say that you love American cars during a debate, but you wrote an article titled, "Let Detroit Go Bankrupt," you might have Romnesia.
The Obama campaign is trying to paint Mitt Romney as a candidate who will say anything to get elected.
That's not leadership that you can trust. You know me. You can trust that I say what I mean.
The president is also targeting voters in Ohio today, teaming up with Vice President Joe Biden in Dayton. Mitt Romney boarded a plane for rallies in Nevada and Colorado. Both campaigns are spending much of the next 2 weeks in the battleground states that will decide the election. Polls show the race for the White House virtually tied, and the candidates are doing everything they can to sway the few remaining undecided voters in those swing states. The campaigns and their supporters are expected to spend around $100 million on TV ads from now until Election Day.
Higher deficits, chronic unemployment.
Romney continues to hammer the president on voters' #1 issue, the struggling economy.
We have to strengthen our economy here at home. You can't have 23 million people struggling to get a job.
Today, President Obama reintroduced his blueprint to create jobs over the next 4 years. But the Romney campaign says it's too little, too late. Tara Mergener for CBS News, the White House.
Apple took the wraps off its newest iPad, a product that could launch a whole new front in the tablet wars. Begad Shaban is in San Jose, California for the first look.
They never have before.
Apple shrinks the screen on its new iPad mini to just under 8 inches. That's about 2 inches smaller than previous models.
Now this just isn't a shrunken down iPad. It's an entirely new design.
The new size puts it in the same range as Amazon's Kindle Fire and Google's Nexus 7. But with a starting price of $329, it's more expensive than either of those.
An iPad mini that you...
Marketing chief Phil Schiller described it as thin as a pencil and light as a pad of paper, with ultra-fast wireless and 10 hours of battery life.
We were already so far ahead of the competition, this just... I can't even see them in the rearview mirror.
Apple's big announcement comes just about a month after the company unveiled a long line of other gadgets, including the iPhone 5. Andrea Chang is a technology reporter for the Los Angeles Times and says there's a reason behind Apple's back-to-back announcements.
A lot of it is because the holiday season is coming up, and for any retailer, anyone that sells products, you really want to get in before the November period starts.
Apple has already sold 100 million iPads since their debut 2 years ago. The company hopes when the Mini goes on sale next month, that number will multiply. Begad Shaban, CBS News, San Jose, California.
The American Academy of Pediatrics is responding to the growing number of cheerleading injuries. The doctors group is out with the new guidelines to make the sport safer. Inez Ferre reports from New City, New York.
The varsity cheerleading squad is practicing before the big game at Clarkstown High School North. It can be fun, but it can also be dangerous.
I just got my second concussion. I sprained a lot of things and a lot of black eyes.
Cheerleading injuries have been on the rise for years. Now the American Academy of Pediatrics is putting out new guidelines that say cheerleading should be designated as a sport in all states, a designation that would ensure cheerleaders certain safety measures.
Mandatory pre-sport physicals, access to appropriately certified coaches, access to training programs.
Cheerleading has become more competitive in recent years, and routines involve more difficult and complex moves. Each year, there are about 26,000 injuries in the U.S.
Other recommendations include no stunts on hard or wet surfaces and no pyramids more than 2 people high. At Clarkstown North, the team does everything it can to prevent injuries.
Nice job. If we're learning a new stunt, we do require that they have spotters in the back until they could execute the stunt.
15-year-old Shannon O'Connor broke her nose during a stunt, but it didn't dampen her enthusiasm for cheering.
Cheerleading is my life. I've been doing it forever, and I don't want to stop.
And since safety comes first, there were no stunts during the big game because it was raining. Inez Ferre for CBS News, New City, New York.
And that wraps things up from the Global News Desk. To see more stories from across the country and around the world, such as how the Food and Drug Administration is closely looking at one energy drink, you can tune in to TrojanVision Global News right after the nightly news. Now back to you, Judson.
Thanks, Rachel. And now Justin McNally joins us for a look at sports. So, Justin, volleyball team on the road in Florida tonight.
That's right. The Trojan volleyball team is taking on Florida A&M tonight. Looking to set a school record with the win. They'll have the most wins all time in the Sun Belt era for Troy. But I'll get into that matchup right now.
All right.
Taking a break from conference play, the Trojan volleyball team will head down to Tallahassee today to take on the Rattlers of Florida A&M. The Trojans have already defeated the Rattlers earlier this season in straight sets. However, the Rattlers have improved tremendously since that match, as they are on a 5-match winning streak with their last loss actually coming against the Trojans. The Trojans will look to avoid dropping back-to-back games for the first time since they began the season 0-3, and head coach Senator Kirkpatrick thinks this game will be a good test for his team.
It's just a good test for us to kind of clean up some things before the rest of our conference season. We've never played down there. I expect them to be a lot different than what they were when they came here. We need to play a lot better on our side of the net, and if we can do that, we'll be in pretty good shape.
The Trojans and the Rattlers are set to play in less than an hour, but one Trojan player brings some extra flair to her game tonight. Freshman Blair Winston has been named Sun Belt Player of the Week. Winston posted her second 20-kill game of her career against ULL, which helped bring her the honors. And let's face it, the Trojan football team had a down year last year. They missed out on the opportunity of 6 straight Sun Belt championships and also did not make it to a bowl game for the first time since the 2007 season. And things looked rough as the Trojans began their season, but now they are back on track.
A loss in this past Saturday's game would have diminished Troy's chances of reaching their goal this year of not just a conference championship, but making it back to the bowl season. And after their big win against FIU, head coach Larry Blakeney is high on his team.
We're trying to get to bowl eligible, and we're trying to get to a conference championship caliber, and it can still happen.
Blakeney spoke to his team at halftime of the FIU game and really made some key points that really stuck with receiver Chip Reeves.
We came back in the locker room. Coach Blakeney told us we really needed this win as far as if we wanted to do anything after this point with our season. Everybody on the team want to go to a bowl game. We don't want to lose any more games, period.
So, just how good are the Trojans' chances moving forward?
The Trojans are now 4-3 on the season and got that elusive first win at home under their belt. But more importantly, with the win, the Trojans keep their bowl game chances alive.
I think that win is going to go a long way for us in this season, talking about, hopefully going bowling and stuff like that, man. It's one closer to 6.
The Trojans still have some tough games moving forward against Tennessee, Navy, and Arkansas State. But the players are glad to get this win under their belt and help their chances even further.
It's a huge boost. We've had a few tough losses, and finally to get the tight win, the close game, it really is going to boost us up, I think, and move forward, get closer to, our goals.
In action this Saturday as they take on the Owls of FAU. However, you can still show your support all week for one player. Quarterback Deion Anthony is in the running for the Manning Award Player of the Week. For all you Facebook users out there, just go to the All-State Sugar Bowl page and like the picture of Deion Anthony. He is currently in second place behind ULM quarterback Colton Browning. The winner will be announced this Thursday. And the Trojan soccer team is currently on a 2-game winning streak heading into the final match before the conference tournament. A team that looked down and out after a 6-game losing streak, the Trojans have rebounded tremendously and now sit in 7th place and clinched a berth in the Sun Belt Conference Championship. The Trojans will be taking on rival South Alabama and can move up to as high as 5th place with a victory. Head coach Chris Bentley with his thoughts on his team.
I do think we're a good team. I think we can go out and compete, but we have to keep focused on getting better, taking one game at a time. And before the tournament, we've got a big game here to maybe improve our seeding. We got South Alabama Friday, and it's an in-state rivalry. It's a game that we got to compete for. So we come out with a win, and we can seed ourselves higher and hopefully put ourselves in a better place to do well in the tournament.
The Trojans and the Jaguars will square off in Mobile on Friday at 7 o'clock. And after starting final round play in 5th place, the Trojan men's golf team was not able to make any more ground on the leaders as they dropped a spot to 6th. The Trojans shot a 3-day total of 910, which put them 50 shots behind the eventual winners from Kennesaw State. Kyle Thomason led the way for the Trojans as he improved on a tie for 18th spot all the way up to 6th after a 3rd round 72. So as you can see, Judson, Rachel, it's been a great week so far for Trojan sports. Volleyball is going in action today. Maybe they can get that win, get that record for them, most all-time wins in the Sun Belt era.
Yeah, really pulling for the volleyball team tonight. That'd be awesome.
That'd be a great win for them.
All right, thanks a lot, Justin.
Thank you. Coming up on Troy TrojanVision Nightly News, basketball season is right around the corner. We get a preview of this season in today's Trojan Talk.
But first, yet another pleasant feeling day in the city of Troy. How's the next 24 hours looking, Bree?
Well, projections say these picture-perfect conditions are here to stay. I'll have more coming up next in weather.
I've been taking classes at Troy online for years. The staff
and the professors, they care about developing me, not just academically, but in my future career. I feel that Troy is preparing me for my next mission.
On campus or online, Troy offers you an extraordinary education that can take you anywhere you want to go. Troy University. It's all you need to know.
I'm John Phillips. I'm an active duty soldier attending school full-time, and I choose Troy.
Nice.
Yes, go! Yes!
No!
Oops. Yeah, sure.
Let's go.
Moms everywhere are finding ways to keep kids active and healthy.
Works every time.
Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
Bree Sanders joins us for a look at weather.
So, Bree, this week has almost been like picture perfect. Will rain be coming in anytime soon?
Well, it doesn't look like we should be expecting those rain conditions anytime soon. It looks like this picture perfect weather is definitely here to stay, well, at least until the weekend. But I'll get more into that in just a moment. First, let's take a look at our campus snapshot. Right now on campus, we see that it's a very beautiful day outside right now, so those of you headed to class or headed home from work, you won't have anything to worry about as far as weather conditions. Taking a look at our current conditions in our area, we have sunny skies, temperatures at 77 degrees, dew points at 51 degrees, humidity is at 39%, barometers at 30.10 inches and falling, winds are coming in from the east at 5 miles per hour. Today's stats, we had a high today of 80 degrees, a low of 49. There was no rain in our area. The sun rises at 6:47 a.m. and it should set at 6:02 p.m. Looking at our temperatures around the state, overall the state is experiencing some mid to upper 70-degree temperatures. Mobile coming in with a high 82, Huntsville at 77, Birmingham at 79, Montgomery at 79 as well, Troy at 77, Phoenix City at 81, and Dothan at 80 degrees. Temperatures around the southeast. Overall, our state is experiencing an average of upper 70-degree temperatures right now, 77 in Birmingham. And as we move throughout the rest of the southeast into the Carolinas, they're about the same. Those temperatures remain constant in their area. Temperatures around the United States, however, as we move over to the west coast, those temperatures decrease to about the mid-30s, mid-40s as we get into the northwest. Current surface map in their area, they have a few high-pressure systems and a few low-pressure systems mixing together to bring in those rain systems in their area. A lot of heavy rain coming through the Texas part here, as well as the cold front moving through the southern part of California. But as we move closer into the southeast, nothing too much going on in our state. A few light winds, high-pressure systems going on. Nothing too much to change the conditions in our area. Departure from normal, we're about 5 degrees warmer than what we have been lately, so everyone keeps asking about these fall temperatures, but it doesn't look like they're here to stay just yet. Precipitation forecast for the next 48 hours. Over the next 2 days, we shouldn't be expecting any rain in our area as far as our state or as any other part of the southeast except certain parts of Florida here. So for the football team, if they're traveling later on this weekend, they may not experience any of that rain. It should be gone by then. As we move into tomorrow, still no rain in our area. Pushing into Thursday, we see that rain coming through the mid part of the states here, and on Friday it continues to push towards the southeast. On Saturday, it touches the northernmost part of our state, parts of Tennessee as well, but we shouldn't be experiencing any rain as we head throughout the weekend. For tonight's forecast, we have a clear and cool evening. No rain in our area. Light winds coming in from the east at about 3 miles per hour with a low of 53 degrees. So tomorrow that temperature will be a little bit higher than it was last night. Nevertheless, it will be cool outside. For tomorrow's forecast, we have sunny and warm temperatures. No rain tomorrow. Light winds coming in from the east at about 6 miles per hour with a high of 83. Today's high was about 80 degrees, so tomorrow it'll be a tad bit warmer, so we shouldn't have to worry about carrying those jackets with us. As we move into our 4-day forecast, like I said, tomorrow that high gets to about 83 degrees with a low of 57. On Thursday, that high goes up to 85. Flirting with those mid-80-degree temperatures back up in that area. That low gets to about 60 degrees. On Friday, that high gets to 83 with a low of 59. And on Saturday, that high gets to about 77. So, Rachel, we have been experiencing these picture-perfect conditions. And Judson, no, it doesn't look like we will be experiencing any rain in our area over the next few days or into the weekend. So there's nothing too much to worry about, and those fall temperatures aren't quite here to stay yet.
So it'll be a good weekend for maybe people who are doing some Halloween stuff.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Bree.
You're welcome.
All right, thanks, Bree.